what's up? Today we'll be looking at another card from Code of the Duelist. This is Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. This is a Dark Dragon Fusion level 8 monster with 2800 attack and 2000 defense. It requires 2 Dark Pendulum monsters, and its card effect reads, must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by tributing the above cards you control, in which case you do not use polymerization. Once per turn, you can target one other monster on the field or in the graveyard until the end phase. This card's name becomes that monster's original name, and replace this effect with that monster's original effects. Also, for the rest of this turn, if your monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. This card has a summon requirement to it, which means it is not suited to all decks and should be focused mostly against pendulum-based decks, unless you intend to put Dark Pendulum monsters into your deck for perhaps their pendulum abilities. I know some people do that for monster destruction or spell trap destruction, or to increase their searches. The versatility amongst its summoning makes it very easy to summon. Often the problem with fusion monsters is having to wait for the fusion card, which back before GX, this used to be just plain polymerization. But for a number of years since GX, there have been archetypal and less specific fusion cards which offer further benefits when used, such as ultra polymerization and fusion substitute. The ability to summon it by tributing the monsters required from the field is intrinsic to pendulums as a whole, as they specialize in mass summonings from the hand. Once per turn, this means it can be easy to bring out these monsters. This card's ability to obtain a monster effect from either the grave or the field is very useful, as the longer a duel has been going for, the more likely you will be able to find an ability that can fit a specific situation, such as card destruction or removal. The best part of this effect is that this does not specify where this effect cannot take place. By this, it means you can use either yours or your opponent's field, as well as either graveyard. Therefore, if you feel your monsters had better effects, you can rely on them. The part that determines this card's usefulness is that it does not maintain that specific effect for more than a turn. This means your opponent is kept guessing as you change effects between each of your turns, enabling more complex strategy to be achieved. The last part of its effect is more of a non-story, really. The ability to inflict piercing battle damage is something that most monsters have, but is still not to be sniffed at, as it could have importance against defensive decks such as Ghost Tricks. So what do you guys think of this card? I mean, the ability to gain effects from other monsters means you can put specific monsters you want in your deck, effects that you might not necessarily always be able to bring out by simply sending that card to the graveyard with something such as Foolish Burial. You would be able to use that much easier with something like Starving Venom. Again, it's very decent for its stats. It is able to be unpredictable. So how much do you think this card will be selling at? Or will you be picking it up? Or do you think maybe this is consigned to the Vrains era? Do you think this card is going to be forgotten about? As always, I'd like to hear your comments. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. And thank you for taking the time to watch the video.